to die for this shit. I'm ready to flip and end up in prison the rest of my life for this shit. So my mama ain't want me, she got in the bush and I end up surviving this shit. And if I want to say and I ain't got the money, I'll probably be robbing this shit. Don't know how much to cry for this shit. Said I'm willing to die for this shit. You know murder's my hobby, inside of my closet a bunch of dead bodies and shit. Niggas say that I'm cursed cause I go to church and stare at the Bible and shit. Shorty say I'm the worst cause I do my dirt and I don't be hiding this shit. Bitch, I'm a savage, I spit at you bastards, I wonder what you gonna do to me, oh. I need to hear someone rapping, I'm just out of breath by your cash and your jewelry, oh. All you my soldiers and I'm a lieutenant, god damn it, you should be saluting me, oh. I hope you know I ain't going nowhere, all you rappers just better get used to me, oh nigga, I must have blew on my jeans, bought me a jean, cause I wasn't riding as much. My bank account looking weak, don't look at me, I ain't got time for no fun. Starting to feel like I might just hit up the Smiths. Throw me a foot, wait for my wire to come. Ain't nobody gonna show me up when I'm shooting up. I had to double up until these niggas fucking up before they ride. And they don't really want a nigga look. I hit him with the uppercut. I had him motherfucking running for their lives. But identify trap when I fly past. I'm an alien standing in if you look up in the sky. Put your mind back, push your eyes back, put your iPad on my iPad. Pulling suicide when the bombs are loaded and your mind is loaded in the wind. And you gonna sit down, repent. I was raised in the sword.
What's up? What's up? It's 9 o'clock. Welcome to dinner at the 9 o'clock with FoodNouns and the Noun Square. Thanks for coming, everybody. This is a combination spaces every week at 6 p.m. Our friend Bloom hosts Bloom's in season to talk about all sorts of fun stuff, FoodNouns related, gardening related, etc. But today it's falling right at 9 o'clock. So we're going to do our 9 o'clock thing, and then we'll pass it over to Bloom's from there. How's that?
Do you garden, Toady?
I'm a terrible gardener. I like to see the fruits of the gardening, but I hate it the whole time while I'm doing it. Lawn maintenance, that's fine. I can push the lawnmower, I can rake, I can do that stuff, but like
see, I'm the opposite.
You're the green thumb I need. All right, Blooms, come help me plant my garden.
I can do it. I grew up doing the lawn maintenance stuff, so I'm pretty well versed on that as well.
I planted like 5 tulips that are still alive, so I mean I've got that going for me, which is nice.
That's good. People can't say that. I can't say that.
That's right. And
I'm a tulip fail.
Apparently tulips are really hard to grow in this area because all the bunnies eat the bulbs. So, I mean, somebody fat finger muted, and I'm going to blame Al because, again, my fingers were not on the phone.
No.
So just,
I honestly don't think I did.
Maybe Twitter's just sort of glitching out because I've got this fancy.
Well, that definitely was not my fault.
I'm still not convinced. We were super duper rugged. I guess that was Twitter's way of warning us. It's like, here, first I'm going to mute you, and then I'm going to rug you. So
it glitched out a little for sure.
It's been a while since we got like full on rugged like that. Like there's been a few times where it's been kind of ruggy, and then like we got kicked off at the end. But that was just a full on white screen of death rug. So it's good for the culture to keep ourselves humble. Welcome back to 9 o'clock live. Combo Spaces with Blooms in Season, a soapbox that runs every single week from FoodNouns. We're going to do our 9 o'clock thing, by which I mean watch the end of the Nouns auction for Noun 518, a piggy bank, very nice piggy bank Noun, which is currently running up that Noun's price higher than it has been lately, 37.53 ETH. What happened was everybody waited for little Nouns to pass a prop to buy 5 Nouns, and now they're going to run the price up so they can't afford them. So sorry about that, Al.
Hey, we don't have any time frame here. We can be pretty patient.
All right, smart answer. So currently 3 minutes 59 seconds left in this auction with a bid of 37.53 ETH. I know that because I'm on nounoclock.app, a really cool alternate front end to nouns.wtf, which gives you a little extra context. For example, it tells you that the 37.53 bid is pending. You might not see it if you're on nouns.wtf. That's because it's pending, but you'll see it shortly. There is also 47.59 ETH left in the wallet of this individual. So that kind of tells you they're probably pretty serious about buying this noun. So those are some of the things you can see on nounoclock.app. Once this auction's over, which will happen, once the bids stop coming in, so in 3 minutes or 20 seconds, unless we get another bid, we will go and we will play fomonouns. Anyone want to explain what fomonouns is? Who wants to take a crack at it today? Aptoshi looks like she's just chomping at the bit to tell us about fomonouns.
I was screaming internally to be chosen for that.
Now you can scream externally.
I'm also just, before the rugging was getting very into the gardening part, so I'm excited for that piece. But prior to the gardening, fomonouns is where we help choose the next noun. It's a simple game. It's a thumbs up or a thumbs down on these nouns as they come up every 12 seconds. We've had an interesting life and relationship with fomonouns, the website.
We have had an interesting life. I agree.
Fomonouns, and it's a love-hate relationship. I feel like it is an entity at this point that we will never give up on, but it definitely has inspired like other projects such as Nomo Nouns, which is super exciting, and YOLO Nouns. But fomonouns is what we play here on the Noun Square, and it literally picks the next noun. So as you guys know, sometimes that happens in a couple seconds. Sometimes that takes like 30 minutes. I miss the really like long times. And when we really try to like push it in the middle of the night.
You remember those times when we tried to, for example, mint a weed head on Noun 420 and just played FOMO somehow for 25 minutes without getting rugged? Pepper Ridge Farms remembers.
Yeah. That was like the hardest rug we've ever been rugged.
Yeah.
Loaded it fresh and just like trolled us.
The best thing is we had Blue Xanadu here, and it was his first time ever playing FOMO too, so it was like a really ridiculous interaction. He's like going and telling his friends, he's like, there's this NFT project, they spend hours a day choosing the next NFT. It's insane.
Yeah, it was probably good that we got rugged. I think it was like getting a little concerning. He's like, are we done yet? Like, is this gonna happen?
Are we there yet? Yeah, I know. And people have given me that feedback too, and I've just ignored them. They've been like, I don't know when you have guests on if you should make them play FOMO for 35 minutes. And I'm like, no, fuck it. Make them play. It's part of being in nouns, okay?
Exactly. That's part of the project.
It's the fun.
Exactly. I mean, Blue said he had an awesome time, and we get that response a lot from people. Maybe they're just being polite, but I think they're usually having fun, even if they're a bit confused. By the way, if you haven't retweeted the room yet, please do, especially when we get uber rugged like that by Twitter. Super helpful if you can retweet the room, let people know that we got rugged like a discount motel and we're back here. That way they can find us and join us. That would be awesome. How many retweets do we got right now? Let's see. Yeah. We only got 12 retweets. I mean, I know you guys want to win 0.069 ETH, so you don't want to tell your friends to retweet, but I mean, come on. We need more than 12. We need like 25 minimum or we can't give a prize.
And you want your friends here because we have famous people on. Like Blue, the guy we were just talking about. Did you see that CNN covered him? Hello.
No, I didn't see that. That's pretty cool.
We are launching people into the ether.
We are launching them into space, in fact.
Literally. Mike Mongo.
Mike Mongo. So, yeah, we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Still sitting at the same bid of 37.53. What do you guys think? This is a pretty aesthetic nouns. Definitely proves that aesthetics still matter, even in a bear market. This is not something that Ugly DAO would bid on. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you like that sweater?
I mean, if we decide to change our name to Receptacle DAO, then it might work to go alongside our box and trash can.
That doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Receptacle DAO? No.
Yeah.
Oh, but then we could also use an outlet. It would sort of broaden our reach, but I do agree the branding is not strong.
I actually really like this noun. It's like inflation. I feel like it's like the 70s money that has currently been dissolved
$0
from the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna go at the end of this auction. Just quickly to recap, we're gonna go play fomonouns, which Aptoshi so awesomely explained how it works. Hopefully, we're gonna get to play. We won't get rugged. And then after that, we're gonna go play a game called nouns, which we brought to you as a new experience for part of 9 o'clock live at the Noun Square, where we basically take all the nouns that slip through our fingers during FOMO, and you'll get a second chance to champion one of those nouns and mint it as a special edition. So that'll be super fun. So get ready. We're gonna go play fomonouns, first in 10 seconds, and then nouns.
time.
Fomo
Fomo
time.
time.
Fomo time.
3, 2, 1, 0. Hey, it's just one.
Whoa,
So let's
it's
go.
happening.
Let's go. Fomonouns.
We're getting botted.
Vote down if you don't like it. In case we get botted, vote down if you don't like it. Okay.
Vote down
Welp.
if you don't like it. If you don't want
Welp.
that plug, vote it down.
One time.
It's Nomo time. Nomo.wtf. This could literally not be easier to go to. Nomo.wtf. You can play on mobile. You can play on desktop. You got 41 seconds right now to choose the noun that you like.
What are we after
today?
today?
We're going for the weed head.
This is taking the last 50 nouns that showed up in the blog.
25.
Let's do this
25.
Fries.
I cannot count. I know Aptoshi's going for fried Toshi.
Yes, fried Toshi. There it is.
All right.
No, go with the weed head, y'all. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Toshi.
Say it, Josh.
I was going to get those
Toshi is an
fries,
obvious,
but then I got high.
obvious winner.
All right,
10
sounds
seconds.
on. Sounds all the way up. Volume up.
Shout out
Yeah,
Super
mint
Tight
that
Woody
now.
for the
Then I got
sound
high.
on this guy. It's part of the experience for sure. Okay,
I'm going with
we're live.
skate.com.
Oh, I see the
Oh, no, I lost my
weed
person.
head
Oh,
popping. Let's
crap.
go.
I'm not connected.
Oh, my finger cannot keep up with the pattern.
I lost her. Where'd she go?
Oh yeah.
Let's
I
go,
can see
weed
weed
head.
heads flying everywhere.
Let's go, weed head.
Come on, Fry Toshi. Fry Toshi is so much better than weed head. Come on, weed head.
Cody, just come on
Cody,
our
please.
team, bro. We
Yeah.
got to win.
Toshi, come on, kid.
Fry Toshi, Fry Toshi, Fry Toshi, Fry Toshi.
Yeah, I'm gonna mint this thing.
Like I can't say the ranking has
Pulling
really
up my
picked up. I really did
power at
it.
this point. Come on.
Ooh, very
We
close.
need more support on the weed head.
Oh yeah.
I really like that
Oh,
blue
my
box
finger. My
Yeah,
finger.
this game is so intense.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, no.
All right,
Oh, here we
here we
go.
go.
Whew.
Oh,
All right,
God,
crack your
yikes.
knuckles. Crack your knuckles.
This is a great pair right there.
Stone Mound and
Crack your
Fried Toshi.
fingers.
Here we
And
go.
go.
I feel like they would be friends.
They do look like they'd be friends.
Yeah, because she gets high and then she eats fries. And
They're actually a
I
match.
think fries have a lot of love.
Yeah, I wear my sunglasses at night.
Oh
Oh my god.
Congrats,
Toshi got
Fried
this.
Toshi.
You
This
cheated.
Nomo.
You cheated.
Brought to you by wrist braces. Hold on. Arm casts.
That one was really close. I want to check with Volky what it came down to, but like Woody, I think that was like only like 15 or 20 votes apart at the end.
that was very close. And that was a lot of clicks. That's the most clicks we've ever had.
We're breaking new records for clicks
That was
every single day.
That was
So-
the
I'm literally, hopefully, minting this thing right now. PSD
So what-
change.
What do we do now, Woody? What if you want to mint it? How do you do it, and why do you do it?
Well, you should still be on nomo.wtf. You can mint as many as you want. It's an open edition for 24 hours until the next nouns auction. And the price will go up 0.001 ETH every 15 minutes to introduce a little bit of FOMO into Nomo. And these are going to be future use case tokens for gamification and help support the Noun Square, Twitter Spaces, and soapboxes, and all the things. We're really trying to put together a game that can help sustain the ecosystem while having fun and gamifying the minting process of nouns.
That's right.
So
And
can
just to
we
make it,
redeem this for nouns?
what's that, Al?
Can we redeem these for big nouns?
Yeah, exactly. You just have to have what was it? I watched that Netflix documentary, Pepsi Give Me My Jet, the other day. So you just need 750 million nomos to redeem for a noun. I'm sure no one will do that, right, Woody? We should be fine.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
We'll be all right.
See.
But we are going to do something fun, and maybe if you guys like this, we might do it every day. We're going to put up a little bounty, 0.069 ETH from the Nomo treasury, and we're going to give it to a lucky Nomo tomorrow. So we're going to start doing that every day. We're going to draw one lucky Nomo from today's editions to win 0.069 ETH to start, and this is just the first sort of gamification thing we're going to test out and see how it goes. So
For the
little
folks who
bonus.
just minted, do they have to do anything else, or is it just mint and wait to see who the winner is tomorrow?
They have to mint it. They have to go to OpenSea and then like caress it a little bit on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, working on
Give
it
it
right
some,
now.
it's kind of like a Tamagotchi. So we can tell on the back end if you've been giving love to your Nomo on the front end. So long as you do your due diligence and give a proper amount of love to whatever amount of additions you mint, then you're qualified for the draw.
This just in, Zargs got number one again.
No fucking way. I'm
She
sorry.
has every single number one.
But I missed yesterday.
I don't know
Sorry,
if it's your internet connection, if it's the fast clicks of the mouse.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're doing, girl, but you're doing something.
Zarg, what's your secret? What's your secret?
Inner peace.
Inner peace. All right. Touche. I have no chance. Okay.
Where are you guys seeing these stats?
Oh, wouldn't you
like
to know?
Token.
No, I'm just kidding. You can just see. So when you go to if you click in your OpenSea or wherever you are, you can click the Nomo Nouns collection, right? And you'll be able to see all of the ones that have been minted. Organize them from by creation date. Of course, OpenSea is not working right now. But anyway, if you organize them by creation date, then you can see them. Or you can just search for the number that you're looking for as well. By the way, I spent the last 2 days collecting Genesis Nomos, so the very first one, the lint head, with corresponding numbers that I think the Nounders will find special. And I just wanted to thank everybody who traded with me to allow me to collect those. I got 41 for 41.56 from Woody. I got number 9 from Pin Pusher for 9999. I got 64 for Vape Ape, who's Punk 4464. I got number 20 for Seneca, which is one of his noun numbers. I got number 80 for Dev Carrot, which is one of his noun numbers from Sean Bonner. 20 from Seneca was from Zargs. 64 from Vape was from Darius. I got 60 from Woody. And then I got 39 for Gremp, which is his toad number, 3039 from Little Pizza. So thank you to all of you guys who didn't ignore me when I DM'd you and was like, bro, can we trade Nomos? including Sean, who was like, I gotta be honest with you here, I have no idea what I minted. I was like, excellent. Let me explain what it is and why you should trade me for another random number.
Yeah,
but anyway, so
it's fine.
No more explanation needed. So yeah, we're gonna send all those over to the Nounders hopefully tonight, and hopefully they will appreciate that. But yeah, time to make a little transition over into blooms in season. I can smell the pollen in the air already because I'm allergic. And Blooms, why don't you take the stage here and tell us, first of all, tell us what blooms in season is about for anyone who might be here at 9 o'clock and maybe they didn't even know about your weekly soapbox or what you were doing.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. So every week we do a soapbox here on the Noun Square. And it's a FoodNouns soapbox, and we talk about everything to do with permaculture and gardening and sustainable farming, things like that, pertaining to food and, food security and being able to grow your own, all kinds of different things like that. So that's kind of the gist of what we talk about here. So today we're going to be talking about soil building, per request of good old Aptoshi last week.
Yes, so that's awesome. This is like so crazy. And actually came up after a really awesome discussion about like new age farming equipment and things you can do in the garden. And I swear, Toady, if this sounds like foreign or anything, it is not. Like the first time I ever actually gardened with like yielding fruits and veggies was this year, and it was awesome, and I learned so much. But
I don't know. They told me that we shouldn't be doing yield farming anymore because of STI.
Okay, well, just your classic old ancient techniques, just except on like a front lawn. So imagine like converting your front yard into an awesome garden. Because believe it or not, it actually produces enough food to like feed you for the season, and you can get really, really good at it and like can and do all these crazy things. YouTube it, it's crazy. Go down that rabbit hole. I dare you. But we did bring up sort of with the soil thing, like, so could you essentially like grab a bunch of different various nutrients and create good soil to be able to farm in? Because obviously you need that, be it on your front lawn or your backyard or on an actual like plot of land and stuff too. So it's awesome that you guys chose to do this for this space.
Yes, absolutely. So we got our co-host here, Change the Game. Welcome, man.
Hey.
And we're going to be talking about, a little bit of, different types of raised beds that you can build, the importance of, good soil and fertile soil, and in a few ways to obtain that. So why don't you kick us off, Change the Game, with a few different types of raised beds that you can make and different ways of going about that.
Well, you guys knew that I was working on my hugelkultur beds last season or last chat. So a hugelkultur bed is essentially hill culture is what that is. And it's a combination of wood frass, leaves, manure, grass clippings, like you said, Uptoshi, kind of a handful of different things that you just kind of throw together and make a soil bed with. So the benefits of hugelkultur specifically is that you put large woody mass at the bottom, and over time it breaks down. It starts to host beneficial bacteria.
By
It grows
the way,
mycelium.
large woody mass is what Woody calls himself after Thanksgiving dinners. So, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, you could grow a bunch of mushrooms for your turkey dinner or your stuffing, whatever it is that you want to do. But yeah, so that's what we want to talk about. There's also just a regular raised bed. A problem that a lot of people meet with raised beds is that it's very, very difficult to fill a full-sized raised bed. 5 cubic yards of dirt is a ton of dirt, like almost quite literally, physically a ton worth of soil. So it's kind of mismanageable to do some of that sometimes. So building it on your own, small scale with things that exist on your property, those are all great and easy things you can do to build soil.
For someone that's like never ever gardened, what is a raised bed and why would you be choosing to do that over like, just planting something straight in the ground?
So the benefits of a raised bed certainly are customizable soil. Another big benefit of a raised bed is that you don't have to lean over quite as much. Because especially if you're an older person or somebody who has bad knees, getting down on the ground or trying to crawl through your garden bed can be quite painful or difficult for some people. But mostly it's the benefit of, not having to use your native soil if your native soil is not quality enough to do good gardening in, which is generally the case for a lot of people living in cities, living in rural, recently commodified or commercialized properties or spaces, or what you call them, communities.
Sorry, this is a dumb question, but could you literally like put something in a pot if you had like a small little balcony or like a little window area or just a back, porch? Like, so anyone that did live in a city, like, are they able to sort of plant any type of vegetable like in a potted situation with this soil?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you can certainly do like herbs and small vegetable plants, maybe like a tomato plant or an eggplant. There's certainly a lot of options for you because you are customizing the soil, or you're making the soil or buying the soil yourself, and you've got a little bit of temperature control. If you're happy, your plants will definitely be happy and warm in your house.
Yes, absolutely. And then, you know, there's plenty of different ways to customize planters and raised beds on balconies specifically, you know, in apartments, things like that, to where you can build trellis up, you know, behind your raised bed and grow different vining plants to, you know, kind of utilize them to block wind, you know, on balconies and things like that. So it's all in the design and how you go about it. So you can absolutely do that.
And the fun thing about, you know, apartment growing of food is that a lot of things that you can grow in your apartment are also things that you can buy from the grocery store. So you can take your green onions, for example, and if they've got that little root ball on the bottom of them, just shove them in a little bit of dirt and keep them in the sunlight. And a week later, you're going to have more green onions. And over time, as you buy more, of course, because you're going to catch all of it at once, you'll have a great big pot of green onions, and eventually you'll stop having to buy green onions. And, you know, in a lot of things in the world, it seems like the effort is front loaded. Like, oh, it's going to be this hard thing. I have to buy soil. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to wait. I have to watch it. I have to farm my yield. In the end, once you have enough of your farming thing happening, your yield is enough to stop worrying about it, right? Like, oh, I don't have to buy green onions anymore, or I don't have to buy tomatoes anymore. And over time, that really starts to add up.
Yes, absolutely. You know, and it's all in choosing, you know, what to grow in the area that you're in. You know, things like zucchini can yield hundreds of pounds off just a few different plants, and you know, people don't realize that.
Speaking to things that you can grow in raised beds or like out on property or land, there's also like pumpkins. A lot of people don't know, but like pumpkin leaves as well as the pumpkins themselves, I think are very edible. So you know, it's all depends on, you know, how you want to design it. Do you want to have very nutrient dense food that's good for you, good for the planet, and you know, good for your family? Like, go and grow some food.
Absolutely.
It really does save so much money. I can't even like begin to describe like how like when you're just going and grabbing like key other items like that you don't have and not having to buy veggies.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also so many programs because so many people do this like within communities. That's where we see community gardens and people doing these like food drives of like veggie drives where it's just all extra stuff that's going to go bad anyways.
Exactly.
Yep. And even in my town and stuff too, they'll gather food from like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and just everything that's going to be tossed anyways. And so you end up just like seeing just abundance everywhere from vegetables alone and see how it could just be like recycled and like the perfect amount amongst like cities and towns if like some of these infrastructures are set up correctly.
Yeah, you know, 100%. And then, you know, speaking to that, you know, having so many leftovers, you know, just one other important thing that you'll be using those for is building and creating compost for you to add back to your soil for next season. So, you know, there's always something that these leftovers can be used for. You know, ideally they want to go to you know, people feeding people, but you know, if that is not an option for you, then you know, there's always something that it can be used for. It's not going to go to waste.
And I think those are like two key pieces of permaculture. You spoke in one little statement there, and that's you know, nothing is waste, and there is abundance everywhere. And the fact that you can kind of see waste as a new kind of resource, suddenly abundance opens up everywhere because we kind of really are a very wasteful society. But yeah, your food scraps can be turned into soil amendments. You know, you can use banana peels as a potassium booster, which I think assists in flowering plants specifically. So, we've talked in previous weeks about Korean natural farming, which is all about fermentation and unlocking all of the incredible mineralization that's inside of our food and inside of other, objects that you might even think or consider to be possible as a fertilizer. I see your hand up. Go ahead. Go ask your question.
Change the game. How are you tonight? This is wonderful.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much.
I have some, quasi science questions because I've actually always wanted to do one of these hugel culture beds. I've never quite had enough space and time, but one of the things that like I was looking at with it is basically it takes time. I think it's like it's designed to take a long time, but you're burying sometimes like whole trees underground, and it's like a good way to clear your farmland and all that kind of stuff. But I was reading about how at different points these beds can have these battles between fungus versus bacteria, and the bacteria will like take on some things. The fungus like breaks down the big logs and stuff like that. But I guess basically like these beds hit a sweet spot, and if you Google some of these things, like everybody kind of it's one of these things where people have their own like opinions about it, and everyone has their own little techniques to it. It's like such an ancient gardening thing that there's quite a bit of like individualism to the way that people do it. It's awesome. I've always wanted to build one.
Oh yeah, and stay on the quasi science side of it. Depending on the cultural, biological cultural kind of mixture that you have in your hugel culture, you were speaking to bacterial dominant or fungi dominant. Those are actually different and beneficial to different things in different ways. But yeah, definitely you can kind of customize your hugel culture. Let's say if you do have a large piece of farmland and you have specific, like, oh, I have soft wooded trees and I also have hardwood trees. The pine and stuff like that are kind of I wouldn't say toxic, but they're very different and they break down very, very quickly and release their nitrogen into the soil very quickly. As where hardwoods are hard and they take a lot longer potentially to break down. They say they have made hardwood hugelkultur beds that are wickedly fertile up until year 7, 8, 9, 10. And I do 100% attribute that to water retention, because it just turns into foamy, punky wood down in there that sucks up and absorbs water, but also that bacterial and fungal dominant kind of soil that gets mixed and created down there at the bottom of the hugel.
This is all pretty cool.
We lost Chef now.
Yeah, I think we lost somebody.
Oh yeah, I see him down there in the listeners now. But yeah, that's definitely a good piece to mention about hugel culture is how different or how old this technology is. You could even I've sent some people on a homework assignment to look up terra preta, which is another ancient soil creating technique related to beneficial bacteria and biochar.
So it's almost like the veggie gardening version of like your gut bacteria.
100%. Yeah. Perfect analogy. I love it.
Can I just point out that Uptoshi became Fry Toshi, and I love it. I'm here for it. You know what I was thinking as you guys were chatting? There might even be some people in the audience who don't really know what FoodNouns is. It might be helpful to like take a step back and give an oversight of what FoodNouns is and how this space sort of fits into what you guys are doing over there.
Absolutely. So, FoodNouns overall is a project that focuses on, everything food, empowering chefs around the world, empowering, different sort of food kitchens to feed, less fortunate, things like that. So just, we kind of cover all the aspects. we got the four groups, you know, fun, education. You know, we talk about
like
you know,
food
garden,
production,
food production.
industry, health and wellness and stuff too. And like the cool thing about Food Nouns is that we are one of the sub-DAOs that forked the Nouns protocol a couple of months ago actually, and was one of like the first ones that did it. And we changed the auction cadence and changed a little bit of the structure of like what went into the treasury, and have like a kitchen nouncil from the start, and have been doing these like really cool like micro almost projects all over the place, and funding like food pantries being restocked, like where Nounish Prof is, after the hurricane, and going to Michigan and handing out free loaded fries like to everybody on that freezing day, like for their last home game, and doing things like that while also seeing amazing, incredible people like Ron. He's actually in the audience, but I know you guys have seen this person because they have these little Noggle food everything. I swear every day. It is so cool to see, and I know that was definitely the inspiration for Food Nounders, who are the founders of Food Nouns from the beginning, of just really taking hold of that food aspect of nouns, which is that every single food item that you can interact with or grow or cook or eat is a noun. And so there's a lot of creative things happening. Really fun people who have kind of come in. It's a really awesome, I feel like, starter beginner DAO if you want to start just like dabbling with governance and understanding what it means to like own a token and then use that token on a prop house or through our version of small grants, which is the prep kitchen. So, you know, the little PFP down there that's pink with those noggles on it that has the F's, that is Food Nouns. If you do not follow it yet, please do. We have a Discord that we are active in daily. We do these like 4 soapbox shows with the Noun Square, and have been loving that partnership as well too, because we've gotten to really grow our audience, not only just here on Twitter, but even internationally and stuff. So we've had some awesome people come through, you know, those collab spaces, and from knowing people like Zarks, who's running Internationals, and from you, Tody, like from bringing people here through soapboxes and everything too. So Food Nouns has been able to sort of proliferate throughout the Nounish ecosystem while hoping to fund projects that focus on public good and, you know, feeding people and enjoying and understanding how to cook really yummy food.
Speaking of funding people, I don't know if you guys want to talk about the Food Nouns Prop House round, which is ending, the voting for which is ending tomorrow at noon EST. In just 17 hours, you guys had 16 props come in. And the theme was food and beverage industry wellness, which was kind of cool. So you're looking for, I guess, things around a theme of helping people who work in the industry. Do you want to give a quick recap on that round and how that's going?
For sure, too. And I know Bloom's, like, I think you have a prop in there, right?
I didn't put one in this round. I'm gonna go. Was waiting till next round.
Okay, yes. So at this point in time, anyone that has a food noun, which I know is a bunch of people in this room, you guys can go and vote on the prop house. So we did get it extended one day, or 2 days, I'm sorry, to be able to get those votes in. And food and beverage industry wellness can mean a lot of things, but there are so many people that we just don't even think about that work in this industry, like literally at the front of the house, back of the house, like your line cooks, like the hostess up front, like everybody. So what are the things that we could do to sort of implement like their wellness and this awesome, you know, rewarding yet very challenging industry? And I know that we all have somebody that we might know that works, you know, in the restaurant industry. I don't know if you do, Tody, or...
Yeah, I know some people for sure. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a hard-hitting industry too. So we got some really fun ones that are like a no buts campaign, and then, you know, we have ones with people who always wanting to cook. That is always welcome. You know, and sharing recipes and stuff too.
Sorry, Toshi, it's not the no butts competition. It is specifically the put out that butt song and TikTok dance proposal. You put some respect on its name.
Thank you, Tony. See, you know, you're going to have to go now to Prop House and then go to the Food Nouns Prop House to see these proposals. They're incredible. Put out dat butt. If you want to see that one live, you're going to want to go take your Food Nouns and vote. So I know that we have a bunch of people in here that sort of submit, but these are really fun micro funding sort of situations that I was talking about. These are 0.25 ETH for a couple of people. So you really could do anything. You can like put a fun video out. The voidhead.eth put in a proposal, which I believe is Andrew, to like do a really nice gesture for like a waiter. So when he's going to go out one night and just like gift this waiter or something, which will mean more to that person than we could ever know, right? So
That's
it's
super
about
dope.
these like
That's
small little
awesome.
acts of kindness and stuff too. And we're going to start understanding and try to learn like how we can also measure that.
Yeah, it's been a really interesting thing to actually see some of the micro funding ideas. At one point in the experiment, it wasn't necessarily known what kind of ideas we would see for a quarter ETH, and we've seen some really good ones. I was coming to talk about put out that but y'all just did great with it. I think that that could be a really fun one, and that's one that, and there's another one about drinking water. There's one about eating vegetables, I believe. There's a 1 month challenge, and so some of these things they can pertain to things outside of even like this particular DAO or this particular round of prop house, and they could have some really well-meaning messages that could be really nounish. And so I think it's pretty cool, some of the things that we're seeing in these rounds. And then I believe there are 2 more rounds of these micro funding rounds that will correlate with kind of what people in our DAO call at this point in time like kind of like our 4 pillars. And the 2 that would be left would be fun and food production and innovation. And so we'll totally see what happens with that. We had a couple props in this round that were really great props, but maybe not necessarily like food and beverage industry wellness. And so I kind of mentioned the future rounds so that some of those builders are encouraged to come back and re-enter in those rounds that might fit a little bit more for those props. And so that's kind of going really well, and we're super excited, and just thank everybody that makes it all happen. It looks easy, but there's definitely like a lot of behind the scenes and everything to make it happen, and it's great. So we're super proud of Prop House and all the people that are involved in it at this point.
100%, guys. Very well said, both of you. Thank you. FoodNouns definitely is one of these projects that is extremely welcoming and very accommodating for newcomers and people that want to get involved and really dive in and have something of their own. So hats off to FoodNouns always, and we're gonna keep it pushing always.
I love it. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to talk about, Bloom?
Yes,
For
I
the season?
wanted to go ahead and take care of some business and get the POAP announced. So we got a really awesome POAP today made by Kimmy Duck. So thank you.
Oh my God, Kimmy's amazing.
Yeah, Kimmy, shout out. Much love to you. You're always so great to me and hooking it up with the POAPs. So if you guys don't know what POAP is, want to go ahead and open up your app store and get the POAP app downloaded. And once you get that open, you're going to want to tap on the mint in the corner and hit secret word. And our secret word today is build soil. So let's see. Doesn't look like it's working. Let me go tinker with it real quick.
POAP
It wouldn't be a
window.
POAP. It wouldn't be a POAP if it didn't need some tinkering. We're in the same boat for our POAP as well. Ryan Mack isn't here, and I'm not sure where the POAP is. So I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of you guys to get the POAP for the Noun Square. Doing that right now.
You know what we do have is a retweet winner, so that's fun. I can hand that out.
I like retweet pickers. Let's do it.
Okay, me too.
Good luck to me. 0.069.
0.069 ETH is going to someone who I haven't pulled in a while, so this is exciting. AA_Kerr. Let's go. New PFP. Oh, that's Andre Kerwan. I believe all the time. Oh, goodness.
I was gonna say you literally pulled him like 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
hey, that guy's always
Did
here.
you
What do
figure
you
out
want?
your role?
What do you want? Andre's always there, and he's always putting in stuff for our contest too, which is awesome. He did a really good. He did a really good entry.
Did you get that salmon pizza for me?
Hey, Joshua.
Hot mic salmon pizza.
Joshua, you're hot
Sushi
mic
time.
with the salmon pizza.
Speaking of food nouns, sushi time.
Joshua is having
perfect.
a salmon pizza. I love you, baby moment.
Oh, that's kind of like a great. We haven't had a good "I love you, baby" moment, but now it's just salmon pizza. Which, by the way, what?
I think it's a sushi. I think it's a type of like sashimi.
It's like crispy rice with salmon on top.
It's not good.
Ooh.
Okay, so
It's not as
sounds
good as the
good.
crispy
That sounds
rice
good.
spicy tuna, but it's like an imitation version of that.
Okay. I think I'm just saying I would rather have just sushi personally, but like whenever I go to those sushi restaurants and they have like the fancy pizzas and stuff, I'm like, nah, you're not tricking me into filling up on crispy rice. I'm getting
Fair.
sushi and sashimi. But my mother did always tell me you're not supposed to.
Tuna.
My mother did teach me that you're not supposed to make fun of people's food right before they eat it. So I do apologize for that, Joshua. It's very, very rude of me. Enjoy your salmon pizza, sir. So how are we doing on the front, on the POAP front there, Blooms? Do you have one at least? One of the two ain't bad.
I'm working on it. I don't know what's going on here.
Blooms always has awesome POAPs.
Yes, I will get it fixed before we disbar here.
Who's getting disbarred? Prof. Werner? What'd she do? I always knew she was trouble.
I feel like the gardening thing also that's interesting to me is that it does take a little bit of maintenance in the beginning, but then it just is happening. Like you're impatient at first. Maybe it's because it was like my first time, but you're just like ready for this thing to happen. You want to taste it. It's going to take weeks for it to even start doing that. But then it's just like producing, and you like go out one day, take all the tomatoes off, and come out the very next day, and there's like huge other juicy tomatoes there. It's crazy. So you get to a point where it's just growing, and I don't know, it's super special. If that feels like a weird thing that would feel special to someone, I don't know how to explain it, but I promise it was my first time, and I'd love to, hear people's experiences as we come into this next spring season of having maybe their first gardens.
That's cool. Do you want to come do my garden too in the spring? I mean, you're off the hook for now. We've just started getting snow, but
careful what you wish for.
Best time to start a garden is yesterday. Second best time is today.
I don't think you would say that if you saw my backyard right now. There's about a foot of snow, so I think we might be past the window here in Canada, but I appreciate the sentiment. PBS, you had your hand up?
Sorry, I was just having connection problems. But I just wanted to plug FoodNouns because I was on the space last night with Milk and Cookies, and it was off the hook. It was like some of the best entertainment I've heard in a long time, and they're always doing great talks. And I watched the film they recommended months back about Terra Preta and the El Dorado. It's a great short, like hour-long film about how the Mayan cultures in South America enriched their soil over tens of thousands of years, potentially 30,000 years, 10,000 years. They don't know how long. It's been going on for forever. So I just want to say thank you guys for always having a great time and a great show to share.
I'm so excited to hear that you went through that. That's awesome. It's so inspiring feeling, isn't it, to know that we have been intelligent and we continue to go back to that intelligence as time goes by.
Oh my gosh. And then for anyone that missed it, the entertainment was really that Nono Dynamo reveals that in third grade, she was like talking to family about Thanksgiving, and she was trying to explain to them nouns and DAOs, and they're just like all over the place and so confused. And then she brings up Tiny Dinos, and he's like, Tiny Dinos. And the brother was like, that was the musical that you wrote in third grade. Do you remember that? And she was like, what? And she instantly remembered. She wrote a Tiny Dinos musical in third grade, and she kind of broke into song and started remembering one of these tracks like during the space. It's hilarious. We'll try
I'm
to
really
clip
sad
it.
that I couldn't make it. That sounds amazing.
We'll find the clips.
Yeah,
but,
post the recording because it's everyone should listen to it. If you have any interest in any of this at all, go listen to that. It's a good way to get your feet wet.
Get your feet wet with No Dynamo's musicals. When Nouns musical? I've been saying this.
Yes, exactly.
We need to do like Hamilton, but it's 4156.
Yeah, it's the Discord closing the musical.
Deep Fried Horse, the musical. I'd go. So what do we have on queue for tomorrow? We have got Zargs here. Zargs, can you tell us what we've got on the go tomorrow if you're around?
Oh yeah, we've got a big day tomorrow. 5 soapboxes. The first one is
Zargs. Sorry, just to stop you there. You said 5. I don't think that's possible. That's a lot of shows.
Yeah, well, we have 5 several days a week now. It's the norm. It's the new norm. So at 10:30 a.m., we have the second episode of Nouns Japan English Radio, where they are basically... Oh, yeah. So they've got some neat stuff going on over there. Lots of fun. And then at 1 p.m., we have a decent proposal with Sam Ellis, which will be really good. He's going to bring on some of the entries for the composables that they're doing. So that'll be...
And again, I just want to clarify, this is completely separate from Sam's indecent proposal, which you might have gotten in your DMs. That is, please ignore that. Don't click that. This is a completely separate and safe soapbox.
I strongly recommend you click it. Anyway.
Okay. I mean, to each their own.
Not financial advice.
Not life advice.
Yeah. Don't let Zargs tell you to just randomly click things in your DMs.
Especially not indecent proposals from Sam.
Okay. Thirdly, we have Twende Namfrika, which is Don John's new show. That's going to be weekly also. And they're up to some crazy fun stuff. They're getting into local athletics. So there's going to be a lot of neat stuff on there, including donkey races. Yes. And
did you know, Zargs? I think you knew, but maybe other people don't know that Twende Namfrika literally means let's go Namfrika.
Let's go.
I did not.
No.
And then
now
we're going
to tell people that you speak Swahili and impress them at parties.
Wow.
I've been working on Good Morning for like a week. But I did learn, though, that Swahili is phonetically correct. So you can actually just read it and say it, and it's okay, basically. Anyway, okay, so 7 p.m. we have NounsDAO Amiga, which will be in Espanol. And then Food Noun o'clock, more good food stuff at 8 p.m.
Can I give a little bit of detail on tomorrow's show?
I hope you would.
It's not necessarily food, but it's interesting because it's one of a few props that have already started to come into like the FoodNouns ecosystem and the proposal forum area of our Discord that are, like I said, not necessarily food, maybe food. But anyway, tomorrow is we're going to talk to the team with Nounski. They want to do the first Nouns whiskey DAO as well. And so there's a lot to the prop. You can actually see the prop. They wrote a really nice prop. You can see it in our forum section of our Discord. Like I said, there's a lot to it. They're going eventually when it comes together for a decent amount of ETH, but they wrote a really nice prop. I believe they're based in the United Kingdom. And yeah, we're going to ask a bunch of questions, see what some of their thoughts are. Looks like there's some Web3 elements to the proposal. But yes, this could potentially be the first Nouns whiskey. And so that will be tomorrow night on Food 9 o'clock.
That's super good. You guys had Nouns wine. Now you got Nouns whiskey. You guys got a whole last party on Food Nouns.
You got to wet the whistle.
Which one goes better with Nouns chocolate?
Wait, that's weird though, because Sheffo, that's exactly the title of Sam's indecent proposal. He said you got to wet the whistle. That's a weird coincidence.
Stop, Jody.
It's a weird coincidence.
Your brain just works in such mysterious and fast ways.
And terrible ways, yes. Congratulations to my friend Dom from .Nouns. Prop 170 just executed.
Nice. Go Nouns. Let's go
Question on
Nouns.
Nounski. Is Nounski in collaboration with Kit C? He's doing the Little Nouns Vodka. I wasn't sure if that was the same person or something else.
That I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. Question number 1.
Well, I can't figure out the POAP, so I will have to screenshot the space as well and send them out. But it's a pretty great one today, so I'm excited about it.
Well, the good thing about POAPs is, we'll take these snapshots of who was here. We'll make sure you get both POAPs, both your NOC one and your Blooms one. They will come to you. Don't you worry. We'll chase you down, find you. And we have a very specific set of talents that allows us to do that. And we will give you a POAP against your will. All right. Did we miss anything? We have no POAPs. We're going to come back to that.
Sorry,
we gave
guys.
away prizes. We had some awesome discussion about, I'm going to say it wrong. Was it hoogling? Hoogling? Did I say it right? Is it hoogling? Hoogle culture? Hoogle. Anyone?
It's Google culture.
I love listening to you try, though.
Yeah, I was just gonna wait until you had.
Sorry, let me
said
look it
all.
up on Google and see how you're supposed to pronounce that.
No, keep guessing.
Yeah.
We had some fun. We didn't really get to mint a noun, but we did get to mint a really cool Nomo noun that Aptoshi has already made her own. And I think Frytoshi suits you, and you should stay Frytoshi as long as possible.
I will. It got me to flip back around the normal way.
Oh my God, we brought Aptoshi to the dark side with Frytoshi Nomo noun. Oh my God.
Oh God, I thought that was the actual sound.
Don't put that.
That was so good.
Please don't put that on the soundboard. By the way, it's also going to be Thanksgiving on Thursday for our American friends.
Yay!
Which is probably most of you guys. I don't know. Are most of you guys on stage? Are you Americans or?
Do you celebrate that, Toady, at all?
We have another Thanksgiving. It's sad that we know that about you, but you don't know that about us. No, I'm just kidding. But we have a Thanksgiving, a Canadian Thanksgiving earlier. We celebrate before you guys. So Thursday's not a holiday for us. But we still wish you a happy time with your families, and we do have a couple changes to our schedule because of Thanksgiving. One of those is going to be the prop talk, which is usually, I don't have it in front of me, I think it's 2:00 on Thursdays EST. I will confirm in the morning. There's a possibility we might have a surprise show tomorrow before Decent Proposal. But the House of Nouns folks were trying to see if they could reschedule the guests to come on tomorrow instead. If not, they'll have to take a break because they are traveling for the holiday on Thursday. But we'll keep you abreast of that. And I think that's the only thing that's changing for sure. We are queuing up another firing squad that Al is facilitating for us, and you know what? They had it coming, Al.
What?
I don't know. Whatever was coming out of your microphone sounded like a firing squad. It sounded like you're shooting rodents or something in the background.
I've always got like one bad sound effect that I don't mean to do each space. No more keyboard though.
Maybe it's not you, but it sounds like it's coming from you.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot less aggressive than the villainous typer. It's just the typewriter.
That's usually what it is. Yeah, hacker man.
Well, it's funny because everyone will try to talk over it, and then like everyone sort of stops talking at the same time to be like, "Am I crazy or am I inside of a keyboard?"
You know how when a baby's crying, they say you're supposed to let the baby cry it out. Well, that's what you do with Al's typing. You just kind of let him type it out until he realizes the entire space is listening to him type, and then he's like, "Whoopsie."
You just gotta scold me.
As we love to do.
Be fair, while that was all going down, he was only typing. I was messaging him, so I might have instigated that aggressive typing. I'm sorry, Al.
I don't think it was aggressive typing. It was a firing line. But anyways, we'll never know. We will never know. I was about to tell you about an event that we're having Friday. It's going to be another redux of the Agora Town Hall debate. I'm sure you guys all enjoyed that. It was super fun. Last Friday, they did a debate of 170, had people arguing for and against Prop 170 for Nouns Naming Service. We had 4156 there, 9999. and many other Nouners were there, and it was really well received. So we're going to try to do it again on Friday. Martin is away from Agora, so Yitong's going to be hosting, and we are just finalizing who is going to argue for and against, and it will be for Prop 173 for the Nouns sailing. So should be an interesting debate on Friday. You got to look forward to that. It'll be right before 9 o'clock live, so it'll be at 6 p.m. EST, and then we'll basically flow right into 9 o'clock after. So that's what's coming up on Friday. And if you want to argue for or against 173, you don't have to be a Nouner, you just have to be someone with a passionate opinion one way or the other, or maybe you just like debating. DM me, Tody Hawk, and let me know, because we are looking for a few people to fill those roles for Friday. Now that's it. I really don't have anything else after that, I promise. Does anyone else? Speak now, forever hold your ETH. What's a good song to play us out with about dogs?
Who let the dogs out?
Come on, Tony.
Is
there another song about dogs?
I walked into that one, but you know where my brain was? My brain was thinking about like every country music song and about how they always lose their dog. So I was like, there must be like some kind of a country song. I lost my dog. And
my brain would just instantly to the Baha Men.
Well, here you go then. Wait, why is it? There we go. Why is there a 5-minute preamble to the Who Let the Dogs Out music video? Unnecessary.
The more you know.
This is very fitting because we actually don't know who let the dogs out. Someone bodied FOMO and let the dog out.
Yeah, new theory. It's NG.
Thanks for sharing the stage with us, Bloom.
Yes, thank you for having me, guys. Always a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Inspired about soil and get out there and build your own soil and grow some.
Super fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow. First Spaces is at 10:30 a.m. EST, bright and early. So make sure you're there. It's NounsDAO Japan. I tell myself I'm bad out the thing really. Alado.